Good morning, everybody. Mike Wright, Edge Home Finance for your Realtor of the Week. However, what we're doing today is we're going to do a Realtor Partner of the Week because I got a couple young studs here that own a moving company, Metro Movers. We got Kit Ingersoll and we got George Pedersen. Gentlemen, thank you for being on, man. Realtor Partners of the Week. We appreciate you tremendously coming on. Metro Movers. So how in heaven's name did you get into the moving world besides you're freaking young, strong, and don't mind moving?
Getting into the moving industry really started with having an entrepreneurial mindset and graduating college into a pandemic. Which was pretty hectic, but moving was mandated work. So nothing was stopping it. COVID had no effect on it. And I learned the ropes working at a moving company and then convinced George to start this with me in September. And we've been trucking along ever since.
September, not 3 years ago, correct?
2021, September.
2021. So moving, you had worked at a different company. Mm-hmm. And then you said, I'm going to start this baby.
Yep. Well, essentially, things were just kind of coming together. I had been talking to George about entrepreneurial stuff before, and he just said, let's do this. I'm ready to put my 2 weeks in at his job. And
I think the story goes back a lot further than that. I think we got to take you back to the year 2002, 2003, where I moved across the street from him. In our little hometown, 2 hours away.
Mm-hmm. Whereabouts?
Do you know where Glenwood, Minnesota is?
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's surprising.
Well, you know, I can say yes whether I do or not. Who the hell cares, right?
For sure.
But anyways, so you guys met one another then?
So, we met then, and then we were just kind of friends over the years. And then he was at a moving company after graduating college into a pandemic, like he mentioned.
Yeah.
And I was installing these machines on production lines for Med Device at this local company here in Eden Prairie.
Okay.
So I was kind of flying all over the world to install those at these places, and then he kind of mentioned he wanted to do the moving company, and I was ready to stop working for somebody else at that point too. So I was in.
I love it, man. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur all my life, right? Pure commission, wake up every day, hungry. Where am I going to go make some dough, right? But what you find is the partnerships. We've got 950, 60 realtors on the show, okay? Every one of them are the same way. You wake up in the morning, but you learn that it's not a sale per se. It's about friendships and buddies. Right? Mm-hmm. And that's, as you guys continue, and your growth has been amazing. Touch base on how the business has been.
So business has been great. Since last year, our revenue has increased by 92%. Nice. So we're almost doubling that, and the goal is to hit that same benchmark again this year. We've grown up to 10 employees plus George and I now, as we're entering into our third year here. And it's been really exciting. We do wear a lot of hats right now as the business owners, but we also like to lead by example in the field, and that's why we can kind of ensure the quality move.
Yeah, solid. So 10 employees, trucks, how many trucks? 2, 3?
2 at the moment.
Okay.
We'll be getting a third one here.
Nice.
Shortly into the busy season.
Yeah, we've got we have a moving truck that but it's enclosed ramp, etc. Those aren't a small price. I mean, that's a good investment for you guys. Mm-hmm. And you got them wrapped, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Very nice. So how do you handle, this moving process is intense, right? You've got sellers that are already on edge. You got Minnesota, granted this winter's been an exception. Snow, mud. How do you handle calming clients? I mean, how do you bid out a job?
So I think a lot of it starts with a call in from a lead that we've gained from one of many different methods we do that with. And then I think Kit and I are pretty good at this point at kind of talking the customer through the process, answering any questions they might have, just making sure everything's laid out and understood fairly in terms of price and what have you with that. So we really just kind of talk them through the whole thing, set clear expectations, and then we try and go above and beyond whatever that might have been set at.
Yeah, good. Are you heading out to each house prior? Do one of you guys head out to the house prior to measure it? And
So essentially, we try to push an in-person estimate right away.
Yep.
That allows George and I to give the most accurate estimate possible when there's no confusion about if something didn't get photographed or included in the video that they were to send. That is another means, a virtual estimate as well. But we really need to see what we're looking at in order to give an accurate price. As there's so many different things that go into the household. So reassuring the customer, the transparency with our pricing, giving that in-person estimate, kind of meeting them, shaking hands, letting them know that George or I, one of the owners, will be present throughout the process, whether that's the phone call, the estimate, maybe even leading the crew, depending on how busy we are. But one of us will be a part of that move.
Knowing many people have expensive stuff, right? Pictures, pianos. How do you, do you handle that insurance-wise and everything else? Or do you just have a blanket policy?
So we do have options for insurance.
Okay.
It's kind of at the discretion of the client. One is the industry standard, which doesn't require a premium. And that's insured for a certain dollar amount per pound.
Ballpark. Per pound?
60 cents a pound.
Okay.
Yeah. So that one's free, like I mentioned. And the other one is just a premium insurance. It requires a declared value on, for example, like you mentioned, a piano. They declare a value, and then they pay a certain percent of it, and then the whole thing is insured.
Can you blanket it? I mean, let's say you got $1 million home, right? Okay, we need, $1 million of insurance. Do you just, you said by weight, but you can just say it's X amount insurance-wise?
Yeah. The by weight was more per item.
Okay,
Not like everything, but...
So you could do it like an umbrella policy or declared value of, I want $50,000 worth of coverage on all of my items, and then we would give you the percentage of that, and that would be covered in the move.
Yeah, got it. What, so when you're safety-wise, okay, let's dive into some of this stuff, knowing you got employees. Ice, snow, how are these guys aren't independent they're employees, correct?
Correct.
So how do you handle this snow and all that stuff? Do you blankets?
Yeah, as far as protecting the pieces, we have shrink wrap and professional grade moving blankets that will wrap on all of your furniture prior to us removing them from the house so that it's secure the whole way through.
Yep.
We have an industry standard, if an item has wood, glass, leather, or fabric, that's getting a pad over it unless the customer is instructing us otherwise. Each customer has a different, declared value on their items or what they deem necessary to spend the time to wrap and pad, given we do charge by the hour. For example, their child's IKEA cabinet versus their primary bedroom dresser set. Something that they would like a little more diligence to take care of. That's how we go about protecting the pieces, but as far as our guys with snow, mud, terrain, things like that, we've got carpet protection, salt on the trucks during the winter, and making sure that our guys are well versed with our training so that they can put their best foot forward.
So and I just use the example of our truck where there's a ramp, right? That thing gets snow, icy, but then they're also heading back into the house, right? Is it, that's quite a transition, and that's all part of your determining the price of this stuff, right? At some point you have to figure out pricing. So let's say there's a realtor here, and they've got a 3,000 square foot home, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Or is it by square foot? you can't go itemization, are you? Or I mean, how do you determine how to price a move?
So really, it's a hourly rate, and then the size of the move, the whole thing overall, is
Yep.
going to dictate how many guys we send, which will determine the hourly rate. There's also a slight difference between weekday and weekend rates, but that's how we would go about that.
Is the weekends obviously more?
Correct.
But that's your busy time, right? I mean, that's probably your busiest time.
Right, yeah. That's when most people want to move when they're not working.
Yeah.
So,
Have you found that, because in my mortgage world, closings happen all the time, right? Got one today, the 5th. Do you find that your months get allocated pretty good, or do you just get slaughtered at the end of the month?
You know, the first and last week of the month are always really busy in the moving world,
Yep.
just with apartments, people moving in and out, and then you've got the residential homes as well.
Yeah.
I would say, the first and last week of the month are always going to be the more busy ones.
Yep.
But as we're getting into the month of March up until about November, it's going to be pretty hectic with how busy we are overall.
So you do, and we should have probably covered this right out of the gates, apartments, single-family homes, townhomes, condos. Are they, with condos and all that stuff, do you find those more difficult with stairs and elevators and all that fun stuff?
there's definitely some areas that have more narrow hallways, and you're less likely to encounter an elevator.
Yeah.
Just to name one, Uptown, tighter
Yeah, yeah.
streets, a little tougher with the trucks.
Yeah.
There's just some added barriers whenever you're in the Uptown area.
Well, but it's parking and it's
Yep.
accessibility and some of these older homes with the staircase, and these people put all their stuff together in the room. So now you got to move it, right? Are you dismantling a lot of stuff?
So we take care of any disassembly or reassembly that the customers needed, except for workout equipment, and we do not hang mirrors or TVs, as that is a liability. However, we can recommend a handyman or someone that can hang
Yeah.
those things for you.
And they also don't touch IKEA furniture. So I'm just saying, come from example. But anyways, so what do you guys? Who's your ideal client? I mean, is it investors? We got a lot of investors on the that represent. We had an agent that we talked to. That's all she handles is investors. Is it realtors? We've got a ton of people. Builders. Who's your ideal referral source?
I would have to circle back to the mission statement for that. We just want to bring professional moving at an affordable rate. So really anybody that's looking to move anything and
Yeah.
not get gouged or have it done poorly, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, I like it. And I think that what I've seen with these guys and their work, there's such a difference between moving companies, okay? Reputation, we talked about reputation tremendously. It's all about the past client reviews. You guys live on your reputation. How do you post work? How do you handle your reviews?
So to touch base on how we handle our reviews, that kind of starts back at the office with George and I.
Yeah.
Having a brief team meeting before we send the crews out each day. A little bit of a pep talk to always give our best foot forward. We have yet to receive anything but a 5-star review
Good.
on our Google profile. And we've been in business for about 2 years and 6 months now. So we're looking to keep that record as long as we possibly can. In order to maintain a solid review, that starts with the customer experience and
I love
how
it.
we handle their needs and how we can accommodate them on their move. And especially with realtors, it's about enhancing their client's experience because it's a direct reflection of them. So that's why we take great pride in the work we deliver.
Well, and I know so many agents that you work with love you. You know what I mean? After talking to a number of them, it's so cool to hear how satisfied, because you as agents, your transaction just doesn't stop when it closes. It's you're the go-to person. using these guys is tremendous. Now, George, I know you talked about Google reviews. Do you have a Google like a Google site to go to for reviews?
We do, yeah. It's just our Google business profile. But another thing we do to get reviews is this is actually you tap it on someone's phone.
Yeah, why don't you show that to?
It just pulls up a link straight to our Google review.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so another thing that we'll do just to kind of do marketing is we've gotten a lot of cups, just branded cups with stress relievers of moving guys.
Like it.
So that's a dangerous trifecta right there. You pull out the card, cup, muscle guy.
Plus the other thing he does, this cat cooks up a steak like you can't even imagine. So if you ever need post work done, just grab a steak and a beer with him. But so tell me about so you've got that Google deal. How do people find you?
I would say there's a number of ways. Right now we're doing SEO, some social media advertising, but our biggest way of getting business is referrals.
Yeah.
So that is just doing the job the right way, pricing it accurately.
Yes.
So there's no surprises. I feel that a lot of customers are blindsided with an unexpected bill.
Yes.
And that's why George and I overestimate, so there's no surprises.
So you guys do business. Obviously, the company is Metro Movers MN, right? If you need to find them, Google them. Right, you're going to get the reviews. You're going to find everything about them on Instagram, Facebook, etc. Metro Movers MN, but your basically to sum it up is you survive on the realtors, you survive on your past clients, right? And because you're a professional. When you do this stuff, can you go all over the state of Minnesota? I know you say metro, but do you move all over the place?
Yes, we are pretty much anywhere in the greater Minnesota area if the price works out for our client.
Yeah.
We also do out-of-state jobs, long hauls, business-to-business transactions. We do it all.
Got it. Truck-wise, we've got a 16-foot truck. What are your trucks? Do you have the Mac Daddy ones if you need it?
That's actually, we only have Mac Daddies.
Oh, cool. Good.
So 26-foot trucks are really the only thing that I think we want to keep on hand.
Hence why Minneapolis gets to be a bit tricky, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Do you ever need less? Or do you 26-footers have been the ticket?
Just to touch base on that, I would say some jobs you do not need the full space, but it's always better to have more than to run out.
Of course,
That's why we've always gone with the maximum size truck possible.
I like it. Where's your office at?
We're actually located in New Hope.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah, perfect.
Just right by Pub 42.
Yeah. Conveniently enough, right? How about that? Boys, let's meet over at Pub 42. Little corporate meeting.
We've done a few work meetings there with all the guys. Yeah,
I've always said you guys are smart guys. Now I'm real convinced of it. So, all right, guys. So here's what I need to. Realtors, call these guys. What Jake will end up doing is that when we share this video, he'll list their phone number, email contact, Google links, etc. Give them a buzz because if nothing else, like I talked to them about, these guys will buy you lunch to explain a little bit more about what you do. If you have realtor meetings, have them come in. I mean, that's your reputation's based on these cats' work. So I know they're good. That's why they're here. And I appreciate you guys coming in as the Realtor Partners of the Week.
Thanks for having us.
We just want to say thank you for having us. And if there's any realtor out there that's looking to have their clients' moving experience enhanced, give us a call. George and I would love to take you out to lunch and explain more about what we can do for your clients.
Love it. And they'll stop at office meetings, etc. So, gentlemen, thank you. I appreciate you coming on, and you guys have a good day. Thank you very much. you guys all out there, thank you for listening. Realtor Connect doesn't exist without you guys. Tell your realtor partners to join it. We're on Instagram and we're on YouTube, all Realtor of the Week. So we appreciate you tremendously. Thank you for your time, and have a good day. Thank you, gentlemen.